Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Megs. If you are new here, welcome, good to meet you, nice to see you. And if you are returning, good to see you again. Okay, today I'm going to do my version of Will I Buy It by Samantha March and an anti-haul from Kimberly Clark. Mine is Purchase Past Perhaps, where I kind of look at the different new releases. Some of these have already launched, so I may be a little bit slow on the uptake. Some of these I might have already purchased, some of them are not. So this is my version of those kinds of videos. It helps with kind of, getting me in the present and really think about purchases. So I'm just going to take a look at some websites here. Angel Naked 1. I also look at Indie Makeup Spotlight and Makeup Release Radar. Okay, so we're gonna start off here with the very first one. I'll try and move over a little bit. This first one is the Nomad. New release, Shanghai releases, I believe, I want to say February 11th. So I'm filming this on the 10th, so tonight at midnight it releases. I want to say, how much is it? Did it say? I'm not too sure. It's so two sides. It kind of opens up, like folds open this way with a mirror on each end. One side has shimmers with a matte black in the middle, and the other side, so the yin and yang, and one side has a matte with a shimmer white in the middle. I love what Nomad does in terms of their travel series. It's all based on traveling and the couples travel experience, and I like how they kind of introduce places with clues, which is really, really neat. This one, I guess, is Shanghai, the last one being Iceland. There's a duality in Shanghai, which is kind of interesting, the future and the historic, and just how they kind of come together and melt together. This has a lot of beautiful, I feel like light to kind of maybe medium mattes, with the exception of the black obviously is dark. I like it, but I'm kind of still hesitant about it. There's a few colors here. There's like a taupey kind of color and a kind of a beigey. So the yin and puxi look similar. I'm not a big fan of pink, so the yang part, the yang color, the purples look nice. I watched a few people swatch this who received it in PR already, and it looks really beautiful. This one, I'm not sure about. I do like that green matte, the dark, like the medium shade green. It's a brighter green. I have enough blues. The red looks really pretty. That dragon green, lime green looks really beautiful too. I'm not sure. So this is a perhaps for this one. Okay, let's look at the next one here. This next one is by BH Cosmetics. This is their Birthstone series. So far they have released the Garnet for January and Amethyst. What was I talking about? I believe it's the BH Cosmetics Birthstone series. So my birthday is next month in March, so Aquamarine would be the birthstone for that month. That kind of appeals to me, and maybe just because I'm, there's a personal bias there where you're always, want to own something that kind of pertains to you, and that you can kind of identify with. But Aquamarine, obviously, kind of aqua, soft blues, and kind of colors. I would be interested to see what they're going to do for that, but so far this doesn't really interest me. So I want to see what they do for the months. I do like the idea of having like this is a 7-pan, which is an interesting layout. You have, I think, the main color, which is in this case the purple for the Amethyst, as a big color. And I think they'll probably do that for all of the birthstones, and then you have the other shades within it to kind of support and complement the main shade. That's how I'm looking at it, at least, or that's the way it looks like it's being set up. Anyway, so this is going to be perhaps. I'm going to pass on February's and January's, but we'll see what March and other ones will be like. So next one, Byredo. Okay, Byredo is a beautiful luxury Swedish perfume house. They have now dipped their toe into the makeup kind of sector of beauty, and they have launched small eyeshadow palettes as well as some lipsticks and so forth. Those were just very interesting, and the packaging actually reminded me of circa Kenzo, circa 2003, 2004, with their flower perfume bottle with the kind of, you know, crooked neck. This is their 18 pan shadow palette. It's prismatic eyeshadow palette. It's 18 shades. It was available February 4th. I believe I saw someone said it sold out. It was $96, and I believe that's US. So that would be very expensive here in Canada. I would say that would be 150-ish Canadian. I love the fact that higher end brands are taking chances with colors and shimmers and things like that for really creative looks. This is a pass for me. One, surely by the price of it, and I don't know about the colors. It's just kind of a really beautiful rainbow looking kind of palette, but I'm just going to pass on this one so far. Okay, this next one. So this next one, I'm going to show 2 pictures because honestly, the ability to probably purchase this is going to be like nil, but I wanted to mention these just sheerly on the beautiful sculptural aspect of it. I have messaged a few people with regarding this, and we're both of the same nature. I wouldn't even want to use these. This is by Florasis Official. Apparently their website's down, but Makeup Release Radar just keeps wanting to show them just how stunning they are. They have an eyeshadow palette as well as a lipstick, and it's just like the detail work in this is just such artistry. I can't even, I wouldn't even want to use them. Just absolutely stunning. Stunning. So moving on, so that's gonna be a pass, but it's just I had to mention them because they're absolutely gorgeous. Okay, next is the KKW. Looks like their spring collection, spring 2021. It's matte with matte hues that range from rich and peachy mauves to bright butterscotches and warm honey. I think the palette is $45. No thanks. Just honestly, I don't think I've ordered anything from KKW. I'm not really interested. It always looks like more of the same. I understand if that's her aesthetic, is kind of a neutral glam with some light, I don't want to say pops of color, but some color in it. I think this stays true to her aesthetic, but it's definitely not mine. Not only that, I'm not interested in generally all matte palettes. I mean, it's soft and it's pretty, but this is definitely a pass for me. As I said, it's $45. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna move on very quickly. Next is this one here from Marc Jacobs. This is the new Cafe collection, spring 2021. It's inspired by decadent swirls of cream and coffee. Listen, I like my coffee just like anyone else. It's my lifeblood as a nurse. I generally like black coffee, no sugar, no cream, no milk, nothing. So I'm happy to see they're doing a concealer and foundation. It says that it's caffeine infused. It's a full coverage. It's creamy, long wear, and crease resistant. We'll see. It conceals dark circles, blemishes, and redness. So I am always a little hesitant when I see that there's kind of actives and those kinds of ingredients. While caffeine is not like vitamin C or any kind of acid, so caffeine is really good for depuffing and vasoconstricts the skin, right? Which is why we use it. I don't know if I necessarily want caffeine all over my face though. So, and I don't know. I just don't know. Also, I'm looking at these bronzer blush highlight. I feel like this was done either by like a BH or Kiko Milano or something like that. I don't enjoy also 3 stripes I think MAC might have done something similar to this. I don't like having things, with the exception of the new NARS Duo, I generally like having my bronzers, my highlights, and my blushes very separated and in different packaging. Depending on how big it is, like I find the NARS one has a good strip so you're not going to blend the two, and even if you do, those two looks nice. I just don't like this. I think it kind of looks cheap. I do like the packaging of it. I think that looks beautiful. That marbled kind of cafe au lait look. The packaging looks lovely. I just don't like the inside. This is gonna be a pass for me. Long-winded, but no, I don't think so. These are from Vive. I think I'm saying that's right? Vive? Yeah. So Jamie Genevieve. So I am unsure where to get this for Canada. I don't know if you can order off the site or if there's another, like, is it Beauty Bay or Look Fantastic? I'm not too sure. But I love these colored blushes. They're very like saturated and rich, and they do look like a sunset. Her inspiration was Italy, and I kind of see it, not that I've ever been to Italy, but you can see like almost like the peach terracotta and like the richness in these blushes, and they look really beautiful. A soft satin finish. They look like they're more of a powder than cream. Finely milled, yeah, I would say finely milled pigment, so they look like a powder. So they're 23 pounds each, which is fairly expensive. So it's about like $1, what, 1.5 times. So like 50, 60, no, maybe, I don't know. So they'll be fairly decent priced here, but they look really beautiful. I just wish it was fairly easily yeah, without like crazy shipping. So that is a pass for right now, but if I can get it relatively easy, then I might purchase it. Okay, next is Odin's Eye. So I've had my eye on this particular brand, and I'm talking about the Norse collection. Now I know people have actually received it. This is nothing new. It was, I think, launched in early February, and I'm looking particularly at the palette itself. The, what is it, 4x4, so 16 pan palette. This, before the other ones were like very soft and kind of pastel and very ethereal looking. This one does have a little bit more depth to it and richness, which I'd like to encourage that. And I think this is the first one without a pressed glitter, which appeals to me too. I love, again, mythology and, you know, like I love classics. I took a few classics courses in university, so again, that kind of appeals to me. I also like the fact they do kind of a 5-pan, 6-pan mini type palette that goes along well with the main palette. The one I think I like is Urd, which is more the green, grungier one. And the highlighters look beautiful too. The highlighters, I have enough highlighters that I like for right now, but they do look beautiful. And as for that, I think I would probably get the main palette and maybe the smaller Urd one. I'm not in any huge rush to purchase these, but I think eventually I will. Just, it's going to be on hold for right now. As I mentioned, I kind of already gone way over my budget in February. So this might have to be on hold maybe for next month or the month after. So we'll see. So it's a not right now, but later. So it doesn't even go with it. But anyway, this next one is from Menagerie Cosmetics, Flight Club, yes. And it's very cute with the little fruit bat and the purple. I knew obviously it was going to be a purple palette when she sneak peeked this with all the purple plummy kind of looks to it. And I knew that she had discontinued the Violet Ink palette, so this makes sense that she's coming out with this. Here's my thing. I haven't tried any Menagerie shadows. I used to use their Makeup Monsters liquid lipstick, and I haven't ventured into their shadows yet. I did like their liquid lipstick formulation. It was beautiful. This is a like pretty much full-on purple, pinky, magenta kind of palette with a few other kind of supporting shades in it. I do own the Juvia's Place Violets. I'm a little disappointed in that 6-pan. I don't know if I need a 12-pan palette of like purple tones. to be completely honest with you. That would be my only hesitancy in this. It's so it's available pre-ordered February 26th for $38.95, and that's American. And then they ship early March. I think it looks like a beautiful, beautiful palette. There's a few colors here like Hanging Out, Megabat, and even After Dark and Flying Fox look absolutely stunning. Actually, that whole first column looks really beautiful, and the whole last row. I think I'm gonna pass on this, and maybe if I wanted like purples, I will buy the singles, if that makes sense. So that's gonna be a pass for right now. Next one is from Necromancy Cosmetica. So Necromancy Cosmetica is now branching out and expanding their line. They used to be really into their lipsticks, and it's not a new brand by any stretch of the imagination. They've been around for a couple of years now, and they offer really cool lipstick shades. I liken them to like Melt, in a sense of very interesting shade colors. They're, I believe, Puerto Rican based, I want to say, and they have like really kind of a gothy kind of vibe to them. And their new palette's called A Gothic Romance. There's not much of a sneak peek from what I'm seeing, like the whole artistic kind of pearls and dried flowers. Again, that kind of witchy, gothy, dark kind of side really appeals to me. And the colors they have kind of shown here, looks like there's 8 color. There's like a deep rich burgundy, red, a deep tealy kind of midnight blue. There's like a pink, a taupey kind of mauvey pink, and so forth. If those are the colors that are within the palette, maybe, but I want to see more of the palette. Do you know what I mean? Before I say that I'm going to purchase this. But the visuals that I'm seeing look really, really quite lovely. This one, I want to see more than what they're showing in terms of, it looks like there are a lot of mattes, maybe metallic, you know what I mean? I just want to see what the formula is like before I commit to purchasing it. So this is a perhaps. This next one is from Tammy Tenuka. I've heard about Tammy Tenuka, I believe, from Amy Loves Makeup, and they were doing like so Sigil Inspired is her brand. And she's mainly known for her loose pigment shadows. So she's been around for a while. She has a shop on Etsy, but she also has a website, sigil.me. It's based out of Russia, and actually the website itself is in Russian. There is an English translation with it. And I've tried to order things actually from the site, and she does go through PayPal. I've had issues trying to order from it. I don't know if there's something going on with my PayPal. So anything that I've ordered from Tammy Tenuka is through her Etsy shop. This one is Wind Rose, The Grand Journey. So this one is kind of Viking, or at least the visuals are that, and some of the markings in the design. Her palettes are very, and even her loose shadows are very, very medieval, Viking, mythology, very Game of Thrones kind of feel to them. Very fantasy kind of base, and I love that. I think it's very, very cool. Her shadows, this particular palette is 3 is 9, 10 pan palette. Beautiful artwork, and there's shimmers, multi-chromes, there's some mattes in here as well. There's a beautiful green, and then there's some very taupey kind of minky shades, and some like looks really, really beautiful. And then what she's done is broke those down to 2 separate palettes if you don't want the full palette. One has like the more green kind of earthy tones, and the one has more pinky tones to it as well. And I think those are called like North and South. I'm just going by like the translation here because it's all in like Russian. So Block North and Block South, that's the English translation, contains some of the colors in the palette itself. And they can be sold separately. So those are, so the big palette, that's a 10 palette, I believe is 48 rubles. And then the north is 3,200 rubles, sorry, 4,800, so 4,800 rubles. And then the block north is 3,200, block south is, looks like 2,000. So, again, because of the pigments, I think sometimes they can cost a little more or a little less. Which roughly translate, I think the 3,200 is like, I did the exchange already. Where is it here? So Canadian 3,200 is 55 Canadian, and that's just for the small version. So $4,000 is going to be closer to like just $60 ish. It's a little pricey, and again, if it's only offered on her website and I've been having issues with it, I'm gonna have to pass because I can't, for whatever reason, it's just not allowing me to order from it and have the payment go through. Potentially pass on this one. It's a very limited edition. So the next one I wanted to talk about was the milk chalks, color chalks. So the idea of these like sticks of pigment wrapped in a piece of paper that you have to kind of rip in order to gain access to it. It does remind me of pastels or some kind of artist, but calling something chalk is not really what I want to evoke when I'm thinking of shadows or pigments. Anything chalky is generally bad, but if I can get past that, I do like the idea of kind of one and done. I am that kind of a chick sometimes, as evidenced by the shadows that I'm wearing today. But there's like really interesting colors here. There's like a green and like some a taupey lavender color. I think the user friendliness on this is why I'm kind of hesitant on it. I don't like the idea of having to unwrap, if that's what it is, because that's kind of what it looks like to me. It has essential oils. So essential oils, that kind of makes me a little nervous. Essential oils are not always good for you to put on your skin. They can be very, very irritating and actually have an inflammatory response. Anything like the lavender or kind of anything that's lemon or citrus based, you got to be careful, dear God. So I'd like to know exactly what's in it in terms of essential oils. Silky Shimmery, 14 shades, $18 each. So again, $18, that's American. That's gonna be probably a pass, to be honest with you. Okay, the last one here is gonna be this MAC Black Cherry collection. Now listen, I know people, again, drag MAC a little bit, and I know they've done these cherry blossom type collections previous years for spring, and they're absolutely, I love the packaging. So I'm a little bit of background if you are just tuning in for the first time. I used to live in Korea. Cherry blossoms aren't just designated to like Japan, which I think is what they're generally associated with, and they're definitely revered in Japan, like festivals and so forth, but also Korea and China. For me, Korea have beautiful cherry blossoms, and there's like festivals, and they're just a magical, beautiful, to me, again, very ethereal kind of a thing. I actually have a panda with cherry blossoms tattooed on my ribs. So I really have an affinity towards cherry blossoms. And so anything kind of that reminds me or evokes this kind of memories, I'm generally kind of gonna, be attracted to, and this is no exception. Did I not get anything from the last cherry blossom collection? I don't know if I did, but this one is like black, obviously, as you can see. The blushes are those extra dimension blushes that have like a shimmering, almost like a shimmery topper to them. So I am kind of interested in those. I wanted to take the time here right now just to kind of things that I've been people that I'm enjoying watching as of late. I have discovered a couple of people especially when I did my deep dive into pressed pigments and all that, I did discover some new channels that I've really quite enjoyed. One of which is Marta's Makeup. I think I'm saying that right. She's from Norway, and I looked at her kind of recipe. She's absolutely lovely. She's beautiful, creative kind of eye looks and combinations, very colorful. I also like, I want to say Nikki Raven. Again, kind of dark and gothy, which is like I kind of really enjoy. And she does beautiful eye swatches when she gets a new palette. Most recently I've been watching her Nomad Iceland one, and then also she did the Shanghai one today. She uploaded it. What I like about her is that she does have more mature eyelids. I believe she's 44. She says that in her videos. And she is also from Netherlands. So very, very cool. I enjoy kind of experiencing content creators from all over the world, and she is no exception. Very, very cool kind of vibe that I get from her. She's really interesting. Let me know down below if there's anything that you guys are looking at purchasing, passing on, or any kind of opinions you might have on some new releases. Again, it's just an inundation of launches. There's definitely more that I could have talked about. Anyway guys, take care. I hope you enjoy. Please take care of yourselves and others and stay safe. Bye.